What's up guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to unbox our new generator, go through it, show you guys which one we decided to buy. So let's get this thing unboxed and get to it. So the generator we used to carry with us was the Predator 3500 that we bought for Harbor Freight. Fantastic generator, never gave us not a single issue in the probably 3 years that we had it, and we used it quite a bit. The downside to that generator is that it weighed almost 100 pounds. So it was very cumbersome. It was hard to get in and out of our rear storage. We kept it in the rear storage of our Grand Design 28BH, and getting that thing in and out, man, at 100 pounds was a bit of a chore. The generator we decided to buy now that we've decided we're going to get another one, is the WEN generator. That's WEN, W-E-N. 3600 watt. The actual model is the DF360IX. So this is a dual fuel generator. It's going to run on propane and on gas. Getting one that would run on propane was kind of a big deal. I've seen a lot of reviews of other people that have propane powered units and they love them. It cuts down on having to carry fuel with you. You know, you already have propane on board if you have an RV, so being able to hook up to that. We always carry around a couple extra 20-pound tanks that we run our propane fire pit off of, so we always have propane with us. We don't always have gasoline with us, and maintenance on a gasoline generator, trying to make sure you keep the fuel stabilizer in it, make sure your gas doesn't go bad. Just really wanted something that would run on propane this time instead. So that's one reason why we went with this unit. The reviews are overwhelmingly good, so I hope that this thing lives up to the hype that I read about online. So we actually ordered this on Amazon, so it shipped very quick. We had it in just a few days. Open it up. Right away you're going to see they sent some oil with it. Looks like it's leaking in the bag. Toolkit. Funnel. Also going to send your propane hose. And you can see this thing's easy to handle. Weighs in at right about 46 pounds. So definitely very easy to handle. I mean, that thing is light. It's gonna have regular standard 15, actually 20 amp. This will accept a 20 amp cord. If you see an outlet that has that horizontal slot, that means that this will accept a 20 amp extension cord. So two 20 amp outlets, and then a standard 30 amp RV outlet. So some of the reviews talked about the fact that if you try to plug your RV cord directly into this, that the way this shroud sticks out the bottom, it prevents the cord from really going in all the way. We'll check it out and see if that's an issue that we have. It's got parallel ports on it, so you can actually, if you have two of these, you can parallel them together. It's got an eco mode setting, so you can turn it to eco mode so that it doesn't use as much fuel. And then of course it has the digital display that will show you once we get it fired up. So another thing that we really liked about this unit is this model actually has, they call it their CO Watchdog. So if it detects too much carbon monoxide around this, it'll shut it down. So sometimes if it's raining outside or something, you know, we'll like to set that generator up under the front of the fifth wheel, or sometimes we'll slide it underneath the back of the fifth wheel, you know, not really bury it in there to where it's totally contained, but just slide it under there so, you know, rain doesn't get on it, doesn't get wet if it's running. So having that CO2 Watchdog on there, I think is going to really give us just a little extra peace of mind. You know, if it gets too much fumes, it'll shut this thing down. So first thing we gotta do is get some oil in it. The oil packaging is not super awesome. Looks like some of it leaked out. So to get to where we need to get to put the oil in and access the filter, and just take the side panel off. So just untwist those two little tabs there, and then it's just gonna lift right out. This comes off so you can access the spark plug down through here if need be. This is where we're going to put our oil in, right here at the fill hole. All right, so we've got the oil put in here now. This is where your air filter is located. So the air filter is located right here on the side, if you need to get to that. So another reason we decided to go with this particular generator is that Win actually sells parts for these. So if you have an issue and you need a carburetor or you need other various parts, they do sell the different parts on their website, so you can actually work on these things. All right, so I'm gonna put the side back on. So Win also supplies a quick start guide that is attached right to the pull handle. Up here is where you're gonna hook up your propane line. So you can see it's a quick connect style propane connector. So we're going to hook that up. We're going to hook it up to our propane tank and try to fire this thing up. So you just push that on and it connects secure. So to get it off, you're just going to push down on the collar and it'll pop itself out, and then it'll stay ready to go, so next time you can just engage it. So another thing you're going to notice is that this does have a very big regulator on it. That was another thing that a lot of people talked about that they didn't like, was depending on where that propane tank is sitting, if you're trying to hook this up to your propane tank that's located in your RV, this is a really big regulator, so you need some space to get this thing in there and get it hooked up. Turn to choke. Alright, now you can see we got this thing running, and we have our digital readout on the front. Difference when you turn it down to eco, you can see it idles down and gets a lot quieter. All right, so now we've got the generator running. It's basically right here in our campsite now running, and I've got a decibel meter pulled up, and we're right at about 62 decibels, and that's running, that's not on eco mode, that's just regular, on the regular mode. So I'm gonna go turn to eco mode and let's see what the difference is. So that takes it down to about 58 decibels on eco mode. All right, so now let's get this thing plugged into the RV. We're going to turn on our air conditioner and see if it'll run the air conditioner. So I do see what people are talking about on this model. You can see here, when I try to plug in my adapter, you can see the neck sticks down and it doesn't let it seat all the way in. I'll take a little bit of that off so it's a little flatter. It's kind of crazy that you have to do that. You would think they would give you enough room there to put that in. Yeah. There we go. So now you can see I just shaved a little bit of that off, and now it seats all the way in there like it should. So they do make a 30 amp to 50 amp adapter that's just a straight adapter. So that would be a little bit better for this versus an adapter like you would normally use at a campsite here, but not a big deal. You can just shave a little bit of that plastic off just to make it nice and flat, and it'll seat all the way in. Turn the choke, couple pulls, run. So you can see there, with one of our air conditioners on, we're right at a 50% load, and that is running on the propane. So the rating of the unit is a little bit different depending on whether you're running on propane or on gas. The propane ratings is 3,300 surge watts, 2,600 running watts. When you're running on regular gasoline, it's going to be 3,600 surge watts and 2,900 running watts. So if you want to max that thing out and get the most you can get, gasoline is the way to go. But for what we're using it for right now, we have everything on in the RV that we would normally have on if we were at a campsite. I didn't turn anything off. We have the water heater is on, we have an air conditioner on, all of our normal stuff plugged in inside, the microwave is plugged in. So we didn't do anything special as far as unplugging anything or shutting anything off, and that thing's cranking away. It's running very, very smooth. I think it probably is a little harder to start on propane versus gasoline. You know, gasoline, you have that gasoline sitting in the bowl of the carburetor, so I think it's probably a little easier to start with gas, but a couple of extra pulls is probably worth it to us to not have to worry about messing with gasoline. If I got to pull it a few extra times to get it to crank on propane, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm good with that. So not hard to start for the very first time. It's running everything we need to run right now. I just wanted to give you guys a look at it. We're going to be in some campgrounds and staying in some campsites that are not going to have hookups. We're going to be doing some boondocking, so we're looking forward to putting this thing to the test. We'll definitely touch base with you guys, let you know how it's working after we get a full camping trip on it. If you want to see more about this generator, I'm going to leave a link in the description. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.